Welcome to Highgrove House, King Charles countryside haven where the hedges are trimmed, the tea piping hot, and the secrets are juicier than a royal garden tomato. From a panic room fit for a spy movie to a treehouse that seen more mischief than a royal corgi, this isn't your average mansion. Oh no. This is where sustainability meets scandal, and history hides behind every perfectly polished pillar. So grab your crown, or maybe a cuppa, and join us as we uncover the shocking, quirky, and downright hilarious secrets of Highgrove, because trust us, this royal retreat is anything but ordinary. Situated deep in the rolling hills of a region in England known as Cotswolds, Highgrove House sits like a well-kept royal secret just 2 miles southwest of Tetbury, Gloucestershire, where even a sheep would probably have an aristocratic lineage set. Now, a mere 10-minute carriage ride, or if you drive from Westonbirt Arboretum to just a stone's throw from Gatcombe Park, Princess Anne's domain. Highgrove is perfectly positioned for royal rendezvous and garden parties with the occasional pheasant. It's an English countryside dream where the hedges are sculpted, the air is scandal-free, and even the trees might be eavesdropping on centuries of blue-blooded chatter. The Highgrove House itself is situated within a 3-story Georgian masterpiece draped in neoclassical elegance. Think pilasters standing prouder than the Queen's Guard, balustrades fancier than a royal wedding cake, and a pediment so regal that it practically demands a bow. But this isn't just a relic of the past. In 1987, Charles waved his royal wand and added a Palladian-inspired facade, which ensured that even the walls themselves would exude nobility. Some houses have curb appeal. Highgrove has kingdom appeal. Inside, it's less Buckingham formality and more countryside opulence. Take the Orchard Room, for instance. Built in 2000 from local Cotswold stone, it's a space fit for everything from lavish receptions to charity soirees, where aristocrats sip organic drinks and discuss really pressing matters like whether the roses or the daisies had a better bloom this year. But while the outside world sees a refined event space, one has to wonder, how many whispered royal secrets have bounced off those historic stones? If walls could talk, these ones would have their own Netflix deal. But wait till you hear about one of its secrets, the Panic Room. Before we tell you about the Panic Room, though, there's Club H, a name so understated, it almost sounds like a secret MI6 division. But no, this was where Prince William and Harry would have an underground sanctuary, a hideaway buried beneath the house like a royal man cave. But honestly, the Persian rugs, high-end stereo system, and memorabilia of their royal lineage, it's much less frat house and more posh hideout. Prince Harry once called it a sanctuary in his memoir, likely a refuge from public scrutiny and perhaps from being told to sit up straight at every meal. One can only imagine the echoes of rebellious laughter, late-night music, and possibly a heated debate over which royal tiara had the most historical significance. Now let's talk about the real mystery, the Panic Room. While most of us consider an extra lock on the door enough security, Highgrove, they don't take chances. Somewhere within the grand estate lies a steel-reinforced fortress equipped with medical supplies, air purifiers, and high-tech communication systems. Because when you're royalty, an emergency isn't just running out of tea, it's having a full-on escape plan worthy of a James Bond film. If a crisis ever arose, Charles wouldn't just be safe, he'd be sipping organic Earl tea in a bunker that likely has better Wi-Fi than most British households. Now, Highgrove's features are a fusion of classic grandeur, personal quirks, and a touch of royal drama. From grand facades to hidden sanctuaries, it's a place where history whispers, modernity peeks through, and even the Panic Room has an air of aristocratic preparedness. However, the best-kept open secret in Highgrove is its gardens. Once upon a time, the gardens of Highgrove were more overgrown wilderness than Royal Wonderland. And then came Charles, trowel in hand, ready to wage war against the weeds. Now, with the help of horticultural legends Rosemary Very and Miriam Rothschild, he didn't just trim hedges, he orchestrated a botanical symphony, crafting a landscape where nature, nobility, and an unapologetic love for compost could thrive in perfect harmony. Take the Wildflower Meadow, a 4-acre explosion of native flora, where delicate blooms dance in the breeze and endangered plants find sanctuary from the modern world. It's not just a pretty patch of grass, it's a royal safe house for biodiversity. Think of it as Charles' personal protest against lifeless, chemically drenched lawns just everywhere. If grass cutting were a crime, this meadow would be an outlaw in the best way possible. Daisies, buttercups, and bees reign supreme, and no one's coming at them with a lawnmower anytime soon. Then, of course, there's the Stumpery, which sounds like something out of a Victorian ghost story, and honestly, it kind of looks like one too. Picture gnarled, weathered tree stumps arranged in eerie, artful chaos, forming a whimsical and slightly spooky retreat. If fairies exist, they've probably signed a lease here, but the Stumpery is hiding another secret, a thatched treehouse fit for a future king. Yes, Charles had one built because when you're a prince with a deep love of nature, your garden isn't complete without an enchanted hideaway straight out of a Tolkien novel. But the true giants of Highgrove reside in the Arboretum, a rare collection of regal trees that would put even the stateliest palace halls to shame. Among them stands a 200-year-old cedar of Lebanon, its sprawling limbs whispering ancient secrets to the wind. It's been around longer than most royal scandals, and that's saying something. Every tree here tells a story, each one a living monument to time, patience, and Charles' unwavering commitment to planting things that will outlive him. And let's not forget the green credentials. Highgrove isn't just picturesque, it's a full-blown eco-warrior in disguise. Since 1994, it's been certified 100% organic, running on solar panels, biomass boilers, and a reed bed sewage system. Yes, even the waste management is noble and sustainable. Somewhere, a very smug earthworm is nodding in approval. While other estates might be stuck in the past, Highgrove has embraced a future where sustainability reigns supreme, because what's the point of having royal gardens if they don't also save the planet? And yet, despite its exclusivity, Highgrove's gardens aren't just for royalty. Every year, 40,000 visitors stroll through its meticulously curated paths, taking in the grandeur, the greenery, and possibly wondering if they too could live in a treehouse someday. Profits go to the Prince's Charitable Fund, because what's better than a garden that gives back? Highgrove isn't just a royal retreat, it's a living, breathing testament to Charles' obsession with nature. His green thumb, his undeniable ability to turn a once-forgotten landscape into a horticultural masterpiece is so interesting, but not half as interesting as the history of Highgrove House. Highgrove House was born in the twilight of the 18th century, a Georgian neoclassical gem rising from the hills of Cotswold between 1796 and 1798. The likely architect is Anthony Keck, who crafted a vision of a magnificent home fit for nobility, or at least those with very deep pockets. And deep pockets were indeed required, as Highgrove played a game of aristocratic hot potato, passing through wealthy families, including the Macmillans, whose claim to fame wasn't just fine taste in real estate, but also producing a Prime Minister, Harold Macmillan, to be precise. But in 1980, the game ended. Enter Prince Charles. The Duchy of Cornwall swooped in. He signed the deed with a sum between £800,000 and £1 million, securing a grand home for the future king and, more importantly, a playground for his lifelong romance with nature. But Charles wasn't just another owner, he was a tenant for life, determined to shape Highgrove in his own green thumb image. By 1987, the house had undergone a noble facelift, with architect Peter Falconer adding elegant neoclassical touches as if whispering to history, yes, I can improve upon perfection. But Highgrove has not been without its trials. In 1893, disaster struck. A fire raged through its interiors, reducing opulence to ash. Yet, like any true aristocrat, it refused to crumble. By 1894, John Hart had overseen a grand rebuild, restoring its dignity and ensuring that Highgrove would stand not just as a home, but as a survivor. And so it did, evolving once more in the 1980s. Not just a royal residence, but a beacon of organic farming, sustainability, and Charles' unshakable belief that gardens just might save the world. In 2022, the keys to Highgrove changed hands, but not entirely. When Prince William inherited the Duchy of Cornwall, ownership of the estate officially transferred with him. But in a very royal arrangement, King Charles just simply refused to pack up his organic gardening gloves. Instead, he continues to lease the estate, ensuring that Highgrove remains his beloved countryside sanctuary rather than just becoming another grand mansion collecting dust in royal inventory. Security-wise, Highgrove is royally impenetrable. From 1991 and on, a no-fly zone has kept prying eyes grounded, while towering stone walls stand guard like silent sentinels. And for anyone thinking of an uninvited stroll, well, the Serious Organized Crime and Police Act of 2005 says otherwise. This isn't just a countryside residence, it's a fortress wrapped in ivy, proving that even in paradise, the king prefers his privacy well defended. But this isn't just a retreat for a monarch's green-fingered daydreams. Highgrove is alive with purpose. It plays host to hedge-laying competitions, community tea parties, and events fit for a king and commoner alike. Over the years, it's helped raise over £7 million for charity, proving that a well-placed garden party can do more than just serve fancy sandwiches. It can change lives. Whether through royal gatherings or charitable giving, Highgrove remains a house with a heart. Though Highgrove is a royal residence, it's felt the personal touches of some of its illustrious occupants. For example, Prince George's sapling, which was planted in 2015, grows like his legacy, while William and Harry's childhood treehouse, Holyrood House, stands restored, a wooden throne to youthful mischief. Even fashion bows to its beauty. In 2022, the gardens inspired a couture collection, proving that Highgrove doesn't just nurture plants, but cultivates style, history, and a touch of royal nostalgia. So if we've whetted your appetite and you're eager to experience the magic of Highgrove House yourself, well, there's good news. The gardens welcome admirers, but only on royally approved terms. From April to October, you can explore the botanical splendor, perhaps with champagne tea in hand, because why not sip like a sovereign? The house itself remains strictly off-limits. Some secrets stay behind palace doors, of course, but nearby, Westonbirt Arboretum and Rodmartin Manor offer further countryside charm. perfect for those still craving a touch of aristocratic adventure. Highgrove is a living masterpiece where history, nature, and nobility all intertwine. From its grand Georgian facade to its enchanted gardens and fortress-like security, it's a home with secrets, stories, and a soul. A place where kings retreat, trees remember, and even fashion takes inspiration. That's all for today, folks. If you enjoyed our exclusive tour of King Charles Highgrove House, give us a like and subscribe for more royal deep dives. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.